Viktor Frankl says man's last freedom is his freedom to choose his response in any given situation. How many of you value your freedom? Let me get a show of hands. All right. If I'm not mistaken, everybody raised their hand, which is a good thing. I'm going to share with you exactly why I'm so passionate about freedom. But first, my name's Zachary Babcock, and I'm an ex-drug addict and alcoholic. And I spent 5 years of my life in prison. 5 years is longer than the precious time that you spend with your friends in high school. It's the time from when your children are first born until they reach kindergarten. All that gone. Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and friends, let me tell you how I got here. My father died when I was 7, and I was raised by my mother. And every single day, she would always tell me, you could do anything you put your mind to. She brought belief in me when I didn't have it myself. Now in school, I was the textbook version of the kid heading nowhere fast. You guys remember that kid that your parents told you to stay away from in school? That was me. If I even made it to class, which was very rare, I was told that I wasn't going to amount to anything. By age 17, I was catching felony cases. And by age 19, I was a full-blown drug addict, heading to prison for the next 4 years of my life. Every single day, I'd wake up in a concrete block surrounded by barbed wire fences. Like, this was my living space. I was told what to do by correctional officers who wore blue uniform and gold badges. And they told me when I could stand, when I could sit, when I could eat, when I could sleep, when I could use the restroom, no freedom. And I tell you this, I don't want you to feel sorry for me because I don't feel sorry for myself. I chose to go there. I tell you this to drive a point home. After serving 4 years, I came home to nothing. And I got a job at a bar and grill working 50 to 60 hours a week. Shortly thereafter that, I got a second job on the sales team at a clothing store. And I got promoted right away because I was really good at what I did. I put in my 2 weeks at this bar and grill where I have some stability in my life. And a few days after that, I get a phone call being notified that I was being terminated due to my felony conviction record. Are you kidding me? I finally thought that I was putting my past where it belonged, and now I'm getting punished for something I already did my time for? I should have kept my chin up and searching for other opportunity, but I chose to throw a pity party and feel sorry for myself, and I began drinking heavily. And a few months down the road, I received a DWI. And just a few months after that, I woke up in the City of Ferguson Police Department from an alcohol-induced blackout to learn that I was heading back to prison. And this was 20 days before my sons were born. I felt like my world had just ended. I was getting ready to miss my children being born. I made a decision right here that I was going to rebuild my life right at rock bottom. After serving 8 months, I came home to nothing. No money, job, work history, special education, nothing. What I did have were 2 mouths to feed, a bunch of bills to pay, and a burning desire to be successful that catapulted me into taking massive action. I began to search for a job rigorously. When I say rigorously, I'm talking 5 to 20 applications a day, 7 days a week, yielding 0 results. Can you imagine trying to feed your family and failing miserably? This went on for about a month and a half until a gentleman reached out to me about a home-based business opportunity in direct sales that forever changed my life because I was desperate, hungry, and I was ready. And since then, I've went on and published my first book titled Prison to Promised Land. And in my book, Prison to Promised Land, I give a detailed account of my life and the transformation that I made. And I followed up with 5 simple principles for success that I use to this day that you can apply to your own life right away. Every single day, my mother would always tell me, you could do anything you put your mind to. And because of her, I believe it. Now, in the beginning, I asked everyone who valued your freedom. And I believe everybody raised their hand. I'm going to ask you one more question. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to raise your hand. I just want you to think about it. Every day, before you go and do what you're about to do that day, do you truly feel free? If you can answer yes to this, then you're doing the right thing. Now, some of you might be stuck in your own prison. Mine was a physical one, but yours might be up here. It may be mental. Your mind, it's the key to unleashing these chains that bind you. Free yourself. Thank you. Madam Contractor.